Hello there and welcome to another video. Today we are flying with the 747-800 here. I mentioned in the video earlier I wanted to start flying the ATR more, but I found out the 747 got quite an update recently, yesterday, 2 days ago. So yeah, now we're flying with the 747. Guess we don't have enough time and too much options here, too much planes. I still like to fly the 737 as well, the PMDG. So anyway, we're going to pick a departure here from Manchester towards Heathrow. Yeah, this map sometimes is freezing up. Let's delete Heathrow here for a moment. So we're going to go to Heathrow again. I found a way to how to get around it a little bit. So you set an arrival and can't move the damn map anymore. Now there's one way to fix it, just pick any waypoint, just pick some point of interest or anything and it works again. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we're gonna go full route with an ILS approach, so we're gonna pick IFR, low altitude airways here. Gonna go over it here a little bit quickly, not too much into details because I've been making videos about these kind of flights more recently. So no, yeah, anyway, let's go over it here. Pick an ILS approach, 27 left here. We got a nice approach over London here. I don't know if they're gonna like it, but anyway. We are sometimes with the ship in Tilbury. That's like Tilbury Dock. That's like, I don't know if it's on the map in this detail. Tilbury, that's London City. It's more, here Tilbury Dock, yeah, exactly, here's a lock. This is a small lock, really small lock for our ship actually. Go in like this with the bow, turn, go stern, and we are over here. And I see those planes flying over from Heathrow. Anyway, we're talking planes, not ships. So our arrival, let's go over the options we have here. Now that looks good, this arrival. So ILS 1H is okay. It's going up here, so we'll have to see how that's going to work out later, after we pick our departure here. 23 left, but let's pick 5 right here. 5 right, and the departure, pick the first one again as well. Yeah, sometimes you have, here we go again. Sometimes you have a nice departure, and sometimes you have to go over all of the options which are there to find something which is like somewhat useful and not too crazy. Here we go again. It's really convenient sometimes. Not. Alright, yeah, this is quite okay. It's a sharp turn there, but it's okay. And then coming down here, and yeah, this is interesting for sure. So we can go over the options here, find something. It's quite a detour. It is an option, but it's quite a big. Oh yeah, what's this? What is this? Okay, this is okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust this this route from here to here directly. I'm gonna change like that, so it's not official, but for just our sim flight pilots here, sometimes you don't always want to do it the full official way, but you just want to have a nice quick flight. So I'm gonna do this one on purpose. If you want to like real official flight, this one around would be nice. Now just this one here is okay, and we're gonna adjust slightly to make it faster. Sometimes you don't have hours for flying around. Alright, so I'll see you at the runway when the plane is all loaded up over there, and then we'll go over the few more details. So here we are sitting at Manchester Airport, the runway. It's a little bit short maybe, so we might spool up the engines while applying the brakes. Yeah, this video is gonna be like the PMDG 737, like the ATR. It just gets you going, not too much details. Just get you up in the sky and start flying the route, and then make a. We're gonna close FS realistic here for a moment because that's causing jumping and the yoke movement there. There we go. Just to get you going, make an ILS approach, and then yeah, it's very satisfying enough that you can go into more details. Anyway, I always like to lower the brightness a little bit here, lower the daytime. There we go, something like this. There's light switches over here, these two with 2 options over here, and the overhead panel you got these 3 here. Sometimes it can be a little bit. Have to look around for them. Landing lights on. It's nice because the honeycomb alpha light switches are working on the 747. For the PMDG you need some kind of program. Anyway, so the FMC, the almighty FMC. First we're gonna zoom out a little bit here. if we go to legs, the good thing about this 747 instead of the PMDG is loading up the plan here straight away. So we can go through it. We can move this button here to plan. Just turn it right one time, and then we can zoom out a little bit more. We can go over our route to validate to see how this is going. There is this Destig with DO51 November. November Destig and Dolby. So there is like this one. If we make from here to here, the turn is somewhat less sharp. I think it's gonna be better. Moving on, step through it. Zoom out a little bit so we can see where we're coming up here. Moving on to the next page, and then we got a discontinuity. Simple fix here. Take the waypoint off the discontinuity, place it where it is there, execute. There we go. And we're gonna step one more. We are now at BBK, and the next one is gonna be a close one here, and all busy. So we're gonna drop it down again a little bit, and then we got this very interesting approach here to big 9, and then all these waypoints, and we can go to CFL 27 left or big 9.0, which is this one. We're gonna go to CF 27. This approach is on purpose. We can get the nice descent approach here. I think we're gonna fly it like this. I think it's worth the. It's not that much of a detour. I think it's gonna be a really nice approach like that. So we're gonna keep it. But in case you want to go directly to CFL 27 left, in this case, from you can hit previous page, and then you can go over the few waypoints again instead of stepping through all the pages. From BBK, yeah, from BBK. Okay, yeah, BBK to 27 left, CFL 27 left. All you gotta do is go to the next page, pick this CF 27 left, and place it just after this BBK over here, and then you can get a new route, let's say, or it will adjust the actual route, let's say. We can set up a performance here to get our V1, V2 and rotate, but around 160 is fine, 155. So we're not going to go over performance pages here now, just to get us going. You know, we got the route set up here. We're going to go over the ILS frequency here very soon in just a little bit. We're going to switch back to map mode, hit terrain button and hit the data button. It will give you data actually not necessary. No, data is not necessary. No, and that's for later. Never mind. That's a bit more VNAV settings. So we can open up ATC. We're flying offline, but I think they want us to go take off and 11,000 feet. So they want us to 11,000 feet. So 11,000 we're gonna do like that. And if we enable LNAV already, because our runway heading is within the 5 degrees after takeoff, we can switch on LNAV, and then our flight director will be showing our route, let's say. So it's corresponding with the route, so we know how to fly. Gonna apply manual brakes here, spool up the engines. Let's see if they drop here as well. So 44, 44.57. They're steady, okay. Like really, yeah, the outer brake is an RTO, so that's good. 50, 7, 60, 80, 90, 100, 30. Slowly start pulling back here a little bit. Not too aggressively. Flying with the honeycomb alpha yoke here, by the way. Going slowly towards 10 and we're off. So gear up. Again, coming back a little bit on the flaps here. Gonna come down on the range just a little bit here. I'm practicing the hand flying here, so small disclaimer if we're not perfectly en route here. Gonna come back on the power here. to Manchester City on. Yeah, if you're unknown with flying flight directors, if that's something you're not familiar with, that's fine, no worries. There's this cross here and the small square, right? And the square is basically is the center, and this the flight director for the vertical line is telling you where to go, more left or right. If I'm now turning right, I'm banking right, my flight director is telling, hey, come more back to the left to maintain your course line, so to say, your heading line. So that's what the flight director is doing here, and you get this by enabling LNAV. If I switch off LNAV here, if I go for heading mode, for example, it will not follow this route here. What we can do now is simply switch on the autopilot. So autopilot is enabled now. We change to vertical speed mode and we start climbing using the vertical speed mode. And we want a 220 speed here. 220. Auto throttle is armed and speed is on as well. So now the autopilot has full control. So we're not flying the plane anymore here. The plane is following its track using the LNAV mode, longitudinal navigation. VNAV is for another video because it requires more setting up in the FMC here. And with auto throttle armed, you can have speed enabled, and then you can dial in any required speed here and the plane will maintain the speed. And then we have the altitude set up here at 11,000 as requested by ATC. When you're set up at the runway, you get all the ATC messages already here before any request, any clearance or whatsoever. So it's telling us to go to 11,000 there. So we get 11,000 dialed up. I'm expecting they want us to go higher soon, or when reaching 11,000. Without vertical speed enabled hold mode, nothing will happen. You have to tell the plane how to reach this 11,000, and that's by using the vertical speed mode. So we're going up with 2200 here towards 10,000. Alright, like I said earlier, we're not going over all the details here too much. Maybe some people are completely new to Flight Simulator here and they want to start flying the 747, and if I go over all the details, the video is going to be so overwhelming that you, by the end of the video, don't know anymore how to make a takeoff, for example. So we're going to stick to the basics here. It's not like the real pilots do, obviously, but it gets you going. Look how the flight director is now telling the autopilot, basically, look, you have to come to the right here to follow the track here, the route. So notice the flight director. You can hide the yoke just like that. It's easier for the filling up the FMC as well. So we're nicely following our route here, flying over the UK. We're flying offline here at the moment. And 10,000 feet is coming up here. Should give some sound as well if I remember correctly. 11,000, sorry, 11,000, yeah. So passing 10, that's what I mean. Just a small detail here. Passing 10,000 feet, your landing lights can come off. So you can switch off the landing lights. Just a small thing. If you forget it, there's nothing which will ruin your flight, so to say. That's ATC sound coming up there, and as expected, they want us to flight level 180, which is 18,000. So we're gonna dial in 18,000 here. 18,000. Can already enable vertical speed, go up to 2200 again, which is a nice climb. There we go. And dial in 18,000 just like so. Now regarding the ILS, the instrumental landing system, which will automatically land the plane when we get closer to Heathrow Airport. The ILS is can be found here on the FMC on the nav radio. If you're with the 737, it's not somewhere here like the 737, so you have to go into the FMC nav radio. And now ILS accumulated 1 hour of flight time in a single pilot profile. Okay, interesting. Now the ILS here is in park, and what will happen later on is that later on it will switch to a frequency and a course corresponding with our runway, which the FMC knows by our route. Because if we go through the next page, you can see that we are going for runway 27 left. So the plane knows that we will be landing on 27 left, and therefore it will add a corresponding frequency and course of the runway. So it's not required to do it manually. It will show up later itself, or let's say filled in automatically. But 27 left is 269 degrees with a corresponding frequency of 109.5. Actually, I never tried 109.50-269. Yeah, there we go. So we got the frequency 109.50 and a corresponding course of 269, and notice the M which is showing manually, so we added it manually. If you just wait until the you get closer to the runway, it should be the same with the alpha there, with the A, that is automatically. So this is one way how you can fill up the frequency. You can wait as well if you would like to. So, and then if we are here in the FMC again, we can see the remaining miles here. This on the right side is empty, it's blank. It's used to set course, speeds and altitudes when you're flying VNAV mode. So like I said, that's for a later video. This green arc here, this green line is showing where we will reach our 18,000 feet. So that's all going well here. Got quite a bright sunny day here. We got some weather presets we could use. They are for free, although it's written Pro there, but they are for free. Our speed for some reason is... So we're gonna go to 18 here. Gonna have the plane catch up some speed again here. We are climbing. Just noticed I forgot the flaps 5. That's really bad. And now we got flaps all the way up. And of course we're leveling out as well, so we start gaining speed here. Oh, that's the stick shaker there. And we are doing fine. Coming up to 220. So normally over Europe here, if I remember correctly, you would maintain a speed around 220. I believe they sometimes even tell you in the ATC maintain 220. So now we're leveled out at 18,000. Looks like they want to keep us at 18,000 with a speed of 220, which we dial in ourselves. And we got another 18 miles to go, 17.8 as you can see here, as well as in the FMC. If I zoom out here a little bit, we got something strange going on here. Okay, that's something weird. Is it a vector or not? And then vectors, yeah, so that's after the runway we get vectored out. Looks like it's strange because we went over it with the planning mode. And we here's something weird. Oh yeah, that's the vector. Coming up like that. Coming down. Uh, 277, which is there. 293. 301, and then we go to peak 9.0, which is that one, and then it's completely messed up. Okay, for some ever reason, and then we go to peak 301. So we want to go from peak 293 to CFL 27 left, big 301, 27 left. So we're gonna pick that one, place it there, hit execute, and that fixes it a little bit. But we want to actually the CFL 27 left, yeah, because of the... Okay, we'll see. Maybe we're gonna change it now anyway, still to CF 27 left, to make a better approach here. So we got big, and then we got big 9.0. Yeah, this BPK, and then from BPK let's go to CFL 27 left here straight away. So we're gonna pick the CFL 27 left here, go after the big, go like that, zoom out a little bit to see what we're making here. Hit execute. See that it's not completely messed up now. So it's also good that we're going over this here together, because you might run into this yourself as well, like that. Okay, so the big is over here, so we want to even... Yeah, that's right, we wanted to do BPK, that's right, that's right. So we're gonna pick this one, bring it there, and that's gonna go like that, like so. Alright, that's fine. And then BPK, BPK is... We got this nice one here again. Okay. Track, yeah. Alright, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna go. There. Because we got BPK one time there. And then we got, yeah, vectors, because we didn't set a missed approach. Potion, BPK, CFL 27 left, so that should be fine. And then all the way till 27 left, yeah, alright. Just gonna leave it like this for now. I like the videos on YouTube where everything is going perfectly fine from the beginning till the end. People set up the plane all accordingly, which is of course nice. But I like to share those kind of moments as well, because you might run into it yourself and then you like to know how to fix it, and most of the time you run into it, you start searching it because it's not covered in the video. So you can see it as a failure of me setting up the route wrong by the Flight Simulator route planner. But can be also useful if we run into stuff like that. What I wanted to say is that we are going to this BPK here, this waypoint BPK. I think maybe Poton, this is called Poton, yeah, Poton or BPK or somewhere in between. We'll start recording again, because there's 18, 9, 10 and another 9 miles here. This is just following the route, and yeah, you will manage. So we'll cut the video here and we'll start recording again when we get close to Heathrow Airport, and I'll see you over there. So here we are. Got this nice turn coming up here, this BPK, so we'll see how this is gonna go. If we start turning all the way around or not, we'll see. Maybe it's not a bad idea to lose some altitude. ATC is not telling us yet to descend here, but what we will do is dial in already 5,000 to start off with. In the PMDG 737 video I explained as well why it's sometimes a wise idea to start descending before ATC tells you to do so. They tend to be quite late, and then you're coming up to your final waypoints with all the speed and you still have to drop 10,000 feet or something. So it's well worth it to start descending here a little bit already. So we've got 5,000. Our final approach altitude will be 3,000 there. I'm going to check the nav radio one more time. It's still manual mode, which is fine. The frequency is right, the heading is right, so that's all okay. I'm going to go back to the legs page here. So the 5,000 arc is still further away. There it is. So we're going to drop down here a little bit more. The plane starts slowing down, or not slowing down, but the engines start reducing to maintain around this 220, and notice the speed is already going up, even when we have to go towards 5,000. So we can easily solve this by using the speed brakes if necessary. And here you go. They still want us to go to 18,000, which is ridiculous, because partly because they're still thinking of the original route, so it's so. But even if you follow the original route, sometimes it's going quite weird. So we got another 9 miles to PPK. We're gonna see how this is gonna work out here. The turn is quite big, so we can follow the turn here to lose some altitude, which is fine. Or maybe it will go directly to CFL 27 left. We'll see if it reaches the waypoint. It should go to CFL 27 left. We'll see what happens. We're gonna align the LNAV mode, sorry. We're gonna bring up the heading here towards CFL 27 left. In case we need to take over, we can do so. You can turn the bank angle here if you want to, but the LNAV is taking care of the bank angle itself, so you can leave it at auto. Zoom out a little bit here again. Still need to go faster with the vertical speed coming down here. And we notice that we only got 5,000 dialed in. We need to be at 3,000 already at CFL 27 left. So what we can do is actually dial in 3,000 already, because we need to be at 3,000 when reaching CFL 27 left. And set the vertical speed to match that one. And it's fine to use the speed brakes. Planes sometimes do it when they have a fast descent and an approach. We've still got room, so we're gonna keep going for now like this. That's fine. It's 34 miles to go here. Let's see what's gonna happen with the BPK here. Coming up. Alright. Descent to maintain 3000. Keep speed not above 220. So we're gonna use speed brakes here to slow us down. Acknowledge the assigned approach here. I'll check the nav radio one more time. It's still in manual mode. I don't think it changes if you put it already in manual mode. There we go. So we're gonna follow this turn, which is fine. It is fine because we can lose some altitude doing so. Notice the speed coming down here again. Contact approach. Gonna take away the speed brakes, although we are above 220. Drop the speed to 210, gives us a little bit more, like so. And after the turn we'll finalize our vertical speed to get a 3,000 feet at CFL 27 left. Descent to maintain 7,000, so now we have to go to 7,000. That's quite strange. Use some speed brakes again. Still quite fast here. Got another nice runway up there. Close the ATC menu here, which is, I have that set as scroll lock. Gonna press B to get our barometer here. Now windmill. Now it's okay to lose some altitude. If not, we would be able to switch to heading mode and then simply go towards CFL 27 left, but like this is fine. So we're more or less halfway our turn here to lose some altitude towards Heathrow Airport. Flaps 1, which are the slats, basically making it a little bit easier to keep this turn going on. And then we can go back to 220 here. Speeding up just a little bit more. Flaps 1 are basically the slats which are coming out in front of the plane right here. Those are the speed brakes which we are using but don't need to use anymore actually. Can come to 2,000 because the 3,000 feet we can easily make there. So notice how much altitude we lose by just making this turn. You can do it yourself as well if you want to lose some altitude while coming into an airport. just switch to heading mode here. Taking the slats away again. Gonna check our ATC if we didn't miss anything. Descend and maintain. Oh, what is going on now? So we're going for 27 left. Runway 27 left. With the big transition. Something went wrong with the ATC there, but never mind. We're flying offline here. Let's focus on the approach now. And the ATC is something you can manage yourself as well later on. So 3000, and after that we 27 we have to go to 2500. CFL 27 left 3000, and then we got the FF 27 left, and then we got, yeah. So notice that when we're flying this kind of approach, we need to keep an eye on the speed ourselves here. So we're going to go for flaps 5 here. And that gives us 210. Start slowing down here a little bit. It's 11 miles to go, but going quite fast like this. So the River Thames here. A few landmarks here and there. Right, flaps 5 is set, so we're gonna go to 200. And then when you're coming up to your final leg of the runway, which is indicated by this dotted line here as well, the final part, you can switch on LOC, which is localizer, which is showing in white here now. So we're flying, just gonna check one more time the radio nav, it's still manual mode, which is okay. So we're flying LNAV mode here, longitudinal navigation, so we're following our line here. But at a certain point we want to take over, or we want to fly the ILS approach. So to do so, we have to capture the ILS, and we do so by using the localizer, which is now in white. And when the localizer is captured, we can change to approach mode, and then we got a full outer land with the 747. Gonna go for flaps 10 here, which indicates that we can slow down even a bit more if we would like to 185 there. Come to flaps 20. Just gonna wait till the flaps reach the actual 20 there. They're still coming down. Now we are set flaps 20. Notice that it turns green here as well. And then drop the speed to flap 20 speed, which is 170. So localizer is enabled. Now we need to keep an eye on the LNAV mode and on the localizer here, that it actually captures the LNAV, the localizer. Since it's 27, we're gonna dial in the corresponding heading here just in case. And we can come down even more. Go to flaps 25.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
And landing gear.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
That's new with the update. It was not doing like this before. And then our one more flaps 30, which just will be full flaps. 160. Want to be quite low on the speed to get a stable approach here towards 27 left. Otherwise, if we're quite fast and we have to make such a sharp turn, then it's not so nice. It's full of landmarks here. That's nice. I can imagine when running live scenery that is even more interesting. I didn't notice like this before. It's the first time flying over London like this for a long time. So 0.7 and counting down 0.6, 0.5, 4. Keep an eye on the flight director right there. And then we can set our outer brakes to 2, it's quite a long runway. And notice the localizer takes over here. Now the glide slope is indicating here in white. It shows the glide slope, and now we got a glide slope captured. Approach mode is on, and we got 3 autopilots. So we're not doing anything here ourselves. The plane is fully flying on autopilot towards 27 left here on Heathrow Airport. A good way to practice flying, hand flying the 747 is here to get a stable approach. So get the diamonds aligned nicely, give the autopilot some time to get aligned everything nicely, and then you can disengage the autopilot, for example now, and fly flight directors and diamonds. And then when it's a little bit darker, you can keep an easier view on the puppy lights. So we're gonna lower the brightness a little bit here again, and then you can see by the puppy lights that we are 2 white, 2 red, which is indicating that our height is perfect for this approach. If it's 3 white, we're a little high. If it's 3 red, we were a little low. Reset the view here, and I like to go 1 notch up and just down a little bit like that. 160 for the speed is okay. We are quite a long runway. And by not using any performance calculators or for the approach, we cannot determine a perfect approach speed. You can do in the 747 without using any additional programs or paid software or whatsoever, but that's for another video. Like I said, just want to get you going here. Land 3. So we're in category 3. We got the rollout and the flare showing up here, the flare in white. So we're gonna keep an eye on the flare, that the plane actually starts flaring itself here later on. And then all we gotta do is keep the center of the runway and apply reverse thrust. Got the 1000 call there. So now is still a moment you could take over and hand fly the plane here, but I want to show the outer land, which is nice to do as well. You can have 0 visibility. And still land the plane here. And headphone users, be aware, I'll show from the outside.
500. 400. 300. 200.
And then we go from 50.
100.
Keep an eye on the flare here. Flare is active.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Got the power here. And we got touchdown on the main gear. Pull back on the yoke a little bit. And with the front landing gear down, apply reverse thrust. Roll out the screen. We're not doing any manual braking here, it's just the outer brakes and the reverse thrust working here. 90, 80, stopping the reverse thrust. With some reverse thrust we will be able to take the earlier exit here. Notice the outer brakes are off here again. And we can start retracting the flaps by pressing F5, which will bring them all the way up here. Can lower the speed brakes, and there we are, Heathrow Airport. A full outer land with the 747-800 after the new update. Saw some nice things here. Makes me thinking if I would even buy the PMDG 737. There's something strange going on here with my controls. Yeah, the PMDG is working on the 747 and the 777. I think I will go with the 777 and then keep the Microsoft Flight Simulator 747 for now here. It's working nice. You got the full operational FMC, and the outer land is category 3. It's working, and we can start flying VNAV with this one as well. So it's an interesting plane to look into more details and fly it. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was useful for you and get you flying the 747 as well. If you run into any trouble, you got questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. If you like this video, consider to subscribe because I got more of these kind of videos coming up and already on the channel. And we got ATR content coming up again. We got some 737, CRGs, Cessnas. There's something of everything here. So thanks again for watching. I hope you will manage your ILS landing with the 747. If not, let me know in the comments down below, and then we'll figure it out together to get you going there. And then have fun, and see you in the next video.